The Afros on the show with your girl Sheila. Oh, and this is How Far. How far now? How you all doing? How you all coping? Life is crazy right now, I know it. But I know for some economical reasons, everybody's city is opening up. But my personal advice is this: take your time, don't rush, do it slow. If you do need to go out, okay, make sure you still have your hand sanitizers, you still have your face mask, and you still social distance, all right? Think about yourself first and foremost. And if you don't need to be out, stay home, okay? Because as far as I'm concerned, until we get that vaccine, we're still not all in the clear. But let's go on to today's show. My guest today, he began his career writing songs for artists such as B.O.B., Trinidad James, my boy Akon, Mario, and many more. In 2017, WURLD collaborated with Sheezy and Walshy Fire of Major Lazer to create the Afro-pop sensation Show You Off. That's what it's called. He also released multi-single hits like All I Need, Mother's Prayer, a collaborative project called I Love Girls with Trouble. I know we played that here on the Afrozone show. WURLD's versatility as an artist is evident in all his projects. He's got projects such as Love is Contagious, which introduced elements of Fuji pop. He has to tell me what that means, all right? To his most recent EP, which we're all loving right now, it's Afro Soul. That brings a more jazz-like R&B experience. WURLD, how far? How are you?
Hi, Day. What's up? How are you?
I'm good. Welcome to How Far. Welcome to the show. Really glad to have you.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me. Yeah.
Pleasure is all out. So WURLD, your name, let's start with that. Where does that come from? W-U-R-L-D, WURLD.
You know, I'm gonna try to keep that one short, right? Because
okay.
Many years ago when I was living in Atlanta, ATL, I was working with a producer, and the first set of songs, this was the beginning of my artist career. I was transitioning from a songwriter to an artist, and a lot of the songs that were created then were very. A lot of my friends that were around then will call it like world music. They were like, they couldn't really put it in a box. And everybody's response was, you sound like some international world music stuff. And it was the same feedback. Shortly after that, the name WURLD kind of stuck with me through that many conversations and the feedbacks. But I initially spelled it W-O-R-L-D.
Okay.
And I shortly changed it to W-U-R-L-D. Same pronunciation, but different spelling. Just so that people can easily find me on the internet. So really nothing really special about the WURLD, but it's special now because I think we're all used
your
to it.
Identity.
So.
Yes.
Yeah.
You carve your own niche. So WURLD, there's Afrobeat, okay, which is from the Farrah era, right? There's Afrobeats, which I like to say is from the new school, okay, African sound. That's how I like to classify Afrobeats. And then there's also Afro alternative. How would you classify or how would you categorize your own sound?
You know what? I think I'm more of a chameleon in a way, right?
Yeah.
I think I borrow from every single one of those genres of music that you mentioned and plenty more. That's why my sound is in its own world, like as it is, and I feel like I bring a different range to a lot of what my peers are doing when it comes to Afrobeat community, because it's soul music, it's alternative, it's still pop sometimes. Because I learned how to create music first in Atlanta, Georgia. That's where I started. And for me, I was born in Lagos, Nigeria, and fusing Afrobeats and to soul music and R&B soul music for me is like living my childhood in a way, right? Yeah. And embracing my culture, embracing my roots, and creating world music. So I really do borrow from all these things. And right now, I'm promoting Afro Soul, which is Afrobeats meets R&B soul. That's really what that is.
Yeah, I think I agree with you there. That's how I see you as well. You mentioned earlier on about your transition from ATL to Lagos, Nigeria. Did you make that movement so you can be closer to the sounds, to the Afrobeat whole sound, or did you just make that movement because you felt like it was about time to go home? And how's the transition been like for you?
You know what? For me, I never really planned it. I spend more time in Lagos, Nigeria now. I'll say 50-50 between, due to the COVID-19, I'm here till things clear out. So I've been spending a lot more time in Lagos, Nigeria now, for real. Show You Off, the song you mentioned earlier was a song that brought me closer to the community, that brought me close to home. Prior to that, I was doing more R&B, soul, EDM music. My first type of success ever in music was in EDM house music. Most people don't even know that. 2015, I had one of the biggest songs in 2015 in Eastern Europe, in Poland, in those regions, Denmark and stuff, with house DJ. Song called Follow You. It's online. But I did Show You Off with Walshy, Major Lazer, and Sheezy, and that song, like, that was the first time I felt the real connection back with my African, friends and peers, and that was the first time I was getting love from Nigeria.
Yeah.
And that pulled me, honestly. That song is the reason why I'm here today, because I would wake up to hundreds and hundreds of messages, and it was different. It was a different type of love, which I'm so grateful for, because there's nothing like being in the US, Atlanta, wherever LA, doing something, working with like megastars.
Yep.
And people from where you're from don't know who you are, or they see your name, or they hear you in a song, they can't really tell if you're Nigerian or not, or African or not. So that was what was happening. Even until today, people try to compare. Is it the same world as on B.O.B.'s album, on the song? It's like people still try to identify if it's a different world from the world today. So for me, I'm just grateful that I'm getting real love from where I'm from and where I was born. And I think there's really nothing. So wherever my journey goes, how far I take it, I feel like I will always have at least a home base with me through my journey now. So that's exciting,
Very exciting. I totally agree as well, because a king can only be crowned a king from home. You can make all the success you have all across the world, all across the the whole globe. But if your people don't know who you are and they can't carry that placard for you, then you're not the king yet. So that's a good move. You're a king right now, and we're loving the sounds that you're actually delivering. The track Show You Off, you're right. That was what really caught our attention. I mean, we've been playing you on Afro Zones. I don't know if you know much about Afro Zones.
No, I don't. Thank you.
Let me tell you. Let me tell you about Afro Zones.
Thank you for playing music, because I really don't know. I don't know. I've not met or talked to 1%. I've only maybe talked to maybe 1% of people that actually show me love. Thank you guys for the love, because I don't even know where the love is coming from sometimes, but I feel it comes back. Thank you so much. But yeah, you were saying.
You were gifted. Yeah. No, basically, I was trying to explain that Afro Zones, we're the first Afrobeat show to be nationally syndicated in the U.S. on major platforms. So we're not like we're on major platforms. Thank you so much for that. We've been in existence since 2017, and we've been bumping you since then. Because even when I had you, my producer was like, "What are you talking about? We've been playing Trouble. What are you talking about? We know him. Like, we've been messing with WURLD." I'm like, "Okay, that's what's up." So the track.
Shout out to your entire team.
Thank you. We appreciate you. The track with Walshy, Fire, and Sheezy, how do you all get together? I'm talking about Show You Off. We talked about that earlier on. How was the link up?
It was interesting. I was living in when I was living in Atlanta, the neighborhood that I lived in. Sheezy just moved from Nigeria then, and he happened to be living in the same neighborhood. And a mutual friend introduced this. He was like, "Oh, he told Sheezy, I have this artist. He's weird." Whatever. Let me introduce you to.
Weird is good.
I was in my alternate, really, it's crazy. I had an album I was working on, which is part of my full-fledged album when I do release it, and I had to put those songs behind. Show You Off is the first Afrobeat song I ever did. First time ever fusing Afrobeat, and we met, and everything was just organic. He played me a draft of the track. I fell in love with it immediately. I recorded the record called. I was a mutual friend of Walshy then introduced us, and I was like, I have the song I'm working on. He heard it. It was like, yo, let's finish this thing, and the rest is history. Shout out to Walshy Fire. Shout out to Sheezy.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Shout out to Sheezy.
They showed so much love and sharing. A lot of people heard the music when it came out. Different parts of the world, because he brought Major Lazer on board. They shared the music. on all their platforms. Shout out to Major Lazer, Diplo, and the entire team for supporting that one. It's so much love.
That's what's up. Earlier on, you also mentioned the house track that you did initially when your career started.
Yes.
Chicago is the city of house. I don't know if you know much about Chicago. Chicago is house. House is Chicago. So can I just give a little advice? Can you bring that track back again? Can you just bring it back? Just my advice. Bring it back again because Chi-Town is the home of house.
Amazing. That was the first city I ever lived in the U.S.
Really?
It was, when I first moved in when I actually got to the US, it was in December. It was so cold. I couldn't really take it. My uncle lived in Atlanta, and he was like, "Yo, come visit Atlanta." And I went to Atlanta and never went back.
Okay, that's what. Well, you can come back to Chicago. We'll take you anytime.
But I need to go back. It's been so long.
It is. It is. Let's talk about COVID. You know, COVID is one of the wars we're dealing with right now. Okay, we've been dealing with this since, even though it's, they say it's COVID-19, but it really took hit 2020. That we actually, the regular folks, woke up to it like, yo, this is serious. Really, the entertainment industry has been affected in major ways, and is suffering financially big time from it. You know, no live shows, etc. So how are you keeping afloat and still bringing in paper for yourself, World?
You know what? Spending less. I'm with, that's the number one thing. I don't have to buy clothes. I don't have to do a lot. I don't have to go out. I don't have to do a lot of things. So, just staying low and creating a lot of music. I released the new project, Afro Soul, during the lockdown in Nigeria. And I was here. I left the US. I left LA for Germany to film Colors on one of the singles on the project, Ghost Town. And that's on Afro Soul. I almost got stuck in Germany. Got the news that no flights was can come back in from Europe. I was in Germany then, right? And I made a decision then to reroute my trip to Lagos to be with family. And when I came here, I had time to finish the project. I recorded one of the songs on the project called Can't Come Outside. That was the last song I recorded on the project as well. So I was able to sit still and really just, create. I've been really creating a lot of content right now, releasing music, staying low, spending less.
Yep.
That's
I hear
you. Battle,
I hear you. Your latest project, Afro Soul, dope, love it, lit, fire, like it.
Thank you.
It's dope. Okay, where do you draw your inspirations from? And say, for example, the whole project. How long did that take you? The whole Afro Soul project from start to beginning, how long did that take you? One, and then how do you draw your inspirations for each single track that you put together?
Yeah, I actually started this project late 2018. So I was working on, it's crazy, I was working on several projects simultaneously. I was just creating. I was working on Love is Contagious, my first project. Then I Love Girls with Trouble and Afro Soul, kind of simultaneously. National Anthem was the first song I recorded, which was late, like mid 2018 actually. And I recorded Ghost Town March of 2019. And the rest of the songs came later. And it was pretty much over because of like a year plus, almost 2 years, actually.
That's what's up. That's what's up, because it takes time to make great music, right? I'm learning that the hard way.
It really does.
It does.
Because sometimes you start with an idea, and you have the energy and the new inspiration to evolve it. Ghost Town was a conversation that I had in my head last year, but it was really personal. I was going through a lot at the time, personally, and I felt alone, and I felt like my surrounding was a ghost town. I felt like the people that were celebrating me at the time, because of the temporary, fallback that I had, they disappeared, setback that I had, and they disappeared. And I felt like I was alone. It was a ghost town. And fast forward, and the entire universe has been in a ghost town. It's been crazy. The conversation is still, relative to right now. So it's a really different. Just creating music that is timeless. I think it was really my number one goal, and everything else just happens. Really share my truth at the same time.
And congrats for that. Now look at it. You were lonely at that time. Right now, we're all living in your world. You actually, you're You actually respelled it,
Literally.
renamed it all. We're all living it with you.
It's a new world. It's a new world.
It's a new world, a new day.
Out there.
Yeah.
It's a new world out there.
So which producers do you look up to, or which producers are you looking forward to working on, doing more collaborations with? I mean, I want to know both on the state side and also back home in the motherland.
You know what? I think I've worked with all the producers I look.
You've done it?
Yeah, in Africa.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
So what about stateside?
Stateside, there's a lot of people that I want to work with. I want to work with Pharrell. I want to work with.
You guys have a lot in common, you know.
Yeah, do we?
I don't know your temperament. I don't know. Yes.
Yeah.
Your delivery and also the style of music.
Yeah, I think it'll be amazing.
Yeah.
I think we'll relate.
We'll
relate, and vibe, energy-wise, musically, I think it'll be special. Let me see, like Kanye would be amazing because I'm a big fan of just unorthodox, brave artistry, and I feel like I'm that way because everything I do is very unique and brave. The sound and choices that I make musically, as well. Just to name a few, like there's a lot of people I want to work with, but I'm working with some people right now, you know, and it's exciting. I can't wait to share what's next. Like, you know,
I'm excited.
The journey continues. You know,
I'm excited. Okay, now it's time for Talk the Talk. Talk the Talk is a segment of the show where we have to go deeper into like real world matters, you know, things that are happening. So do you think world I'm asking you this because I think you are the best person to actually give me your own views, all right? Because you have had the opportunity and the blessings to grow up in 2 continents. You know, I don't know if you've even spent time in Europe, so it could be 3 continents.
Oh my God,
it could be 3 continents. You know what I mean? It's a blessing. Do you feel that there's a disconnect between Africans and African Americans? And if you do, how do we bridge that gap? If you do. If you don't, let me know. But I want to know, do you feel there's a disconnect between these 2?
I think there's a disconnect.
Okay.
Right. And this is a long conversation. But I'm going to keep it short.
Just tell me the world's perspective.
It's in the disconnection is in values. It's in the society that we grew up in. It's in our mental state of mind. We as Africans in Africa, we grew up with a mentality of more free. We're more free as far as like, no matter your state, if you're rich, poor, or middle class, you still have that sense of freedom. That's a huge difference, right? And I look forward, hope to see a world where more Black African Americans actually come to Africa and feel that sense of freedom. Because even what's happening right now, a lot of things, because it's really in the state of mind. Plus, beyond that, it's actually beyond state of mind, honestly. Let me correct that. Because, you know, a lot of things is happening. I've seen it happen. It's happened to me before, you know? And I understand just the idea of living in a not so free world where you're accepted, but you're not accepted.
Yeah.
You know? So yeah, it's really it's a state of mind. It's in our mind and our perception and values growing up. The things that you've grown up to believe. Yeah. I grew up believing in the sense of freedom as an African, being a king, being royal, being strong, and not so
not
oppressed.
bowing down to people. Yes.
Exactly, and that's what I meant by it's really been in the values of the society and the oppression around us, and it's really all about society. That's the difference, really. Yeah. One of the big difference.
Yeah. Do you what give me one idea you think would help us bridge the gap?
Information.
One information.
Knowledge. African Americans, please come visit Africa. Spend more time in Africa.
Yeah.
Just get a sense of. There's a certain feeling I get when I'm in Nigeria, or
belonging.
I get belong, and just feeling that. You know, I think every human being deserves that feeling. You know, I think all my African American friends deserve that feeling.
They do. They do. I totally agree with you.
Because I don't think America feels like home right now.
No.
You know, yeah.
No, it doesn't. Especially with what's happening with George Floyd and all the recent deaths and stuff. But you know what's funny? Like I say to people, I feel there was a reason why there was COVID. I mean, call me anything, but I feel like COVID had to come in to slow things down. I feel like COVID came in so that Black Americans, or African Americans, I rather call them, would actually wake up to the injustice that they've been facing for so long. If the world didn't slow down, we won't even be fighting right now, because they was for their hustle. My next deal, my next deal. You're not moving. But then God said, sit your butts down. Sit down. And then,
but you know, the slowing down affects everything, everyone. We all, actually, I think the world needed a chill pill. Do you know how mad, no pun intended, we have a song out called Mad, and it's so amazing. But the world is so mad, has been so mad for so long. I'm watching like my mom, my aunties, my family, that I know that growing up, they've always been on the go. For the first time, they're chill. No choice, but just to chill. But it's a blessing just to see families just chill. Do you know how many people's parents people can actually relate to this? Like, people have parents that have been on the go, nonstop since they were born. They probably have like Fridays and Saturdays off. I mean, we needed that break. Like, the entire world needed that break. The pressure of being ahead, the pressure of surviving, the pressure of making it, the pressure of being home and thinking that everybody else is working. But guess what? You can't feel bad, because guess what? You're home. Everybody's home.
We all
for the
home.
First
the
time,
pressure of social media.
Yeah.
No one can go borrow pose with somebody's car right now because you're home. So where are you gonna get that car to project that false life that
we people spending less. I know we're not.
I agree.
Exactly. So like a lot of people spend more time with family, fix issues, fix problems. But you know what? Also, like, there's one thing that I worry a lot. There's some people that actually go through domestic violence that really have very unhealthy relationships. That this may have been affected. It's not all good.
No, I agree.
Now people use work to get away from their madness. Now they're stuck in this space having to deal with that madness 24/7. Like, there's a lot going on behind the scenes, and I hope everyone is okay. I only just pray and hope that people are safe, and people are motivated, people are reset, and ready to catch up, reset, and in a better state of mind to really make the best out of this one life.
I totally agree with you. And the point you made was very valid about, people now being stuck at home and now exercising their demons at home. I hear there's been a lot of rape cases in Nigeria that actually has taken the whole nation by storm, because
good and bad.
It's parental, some of the stories I'm hearing, good and bad, But one thing though is this, I mean, all we can do is ask people to keep speaking up, speak up for justice.
But that situation is,
Go on. No, go on.
Like the rape cases I've been noticing it's been ridiculous out here, and I posted something about that in the humor. But I really meant that it's so crazy because people don't have the voice, and there's this sense of power, and it's a masculine sense of power of getting away with things, and that drives all the way to the top of the tier. I'm talking about like the top. All the way to the bottom. So really, it's a big problem, because it's actually a huge problem, because sexual harassment is even heavy. The way men sexually harass women around here, I've seen it. I hang around my sisters and I see the way guys look. You can't even do that in America. No. But I see the way people do it, and the gestures guys and men make. They make it in such a way that they feel like, I can say whatever I want to say to you. I can talk about how you look right now. I don't even know you. I'm gonna, but it's so disgusting, and women are going through a lot. South Africa is another place where women are going through a lot.
Yes.
And that's like, we got to do better in Africa, and when it comes to law, and got to do better. We got to hold people accountable.
We have to. But one thing I appreciate, the world, just like it's such an interesting topic that we could go on, and it's so easy to speak with you. So thank you so much,
Absolutely,
for opening up as much as you have,
Thank you.
because this platform is to speak your
Yeah.
truth as well. We talk about your career, we talk about the influence
Absolutely.
you have, we talk about things like that. But
Yeah.
one thing I do know is that I also like the way that what's happening here in the States is being replicated back home. Like I see people coming out to march with the placards, with this, with that,
Yeah.
saying say no to rape, this. So calling attention to it. So that's one thing
Absolutely.
that we're
Absolutely.
emulating from the US.
Absolutely.
You know how the US is, you do one thing, they bring the placard out, like, so
Absolutely.
more of that, speak out more. So I really appreciate that. So what's next for you,
Absolutely.
World? What's up with you? What's next for you? I know you've been cooking and you're building, but in some way, what should we look out for?
Right now it's about giving. I released 3 projects in 14 months.
Wow.
Love is Contagious. I Love Girls in Trouble. Afro Soul is out now. The journey continues. I'm already creating the next projects after that. Collaborations. I'm doing a lot of collaborations now. Look forward more like actual collaborations. I've actually been able to release all these music without any single collaboration in any of my songs with any other artists. Just been working with producers. And I really felt like it was necessary for me to really have my own voice and my own following, my own vibe out there that's authentic, that's dependent on myself and my and I felt like I needed to put my own voice and a new thing out there. So I'm doing the collaborations now. I can't wait for the world to be safe again, shows, sharing beautiful moments with fans. Honestly, you know what? We can't overplan these days, so I'm like just carefully taking it day by day, but creating, and planning as much as I can.
Appreciate it. All right, it's now time for the fun part of the show where we're just gonna, before we end the show, it's called What's Your Slang? Okay, it's a nice game I love to play. And so say, for example, you're going to represent Nigeria, okay, because you're an ATL guy who's moved to Nigeria, okay? So what's your slang? What I want you to do, World, is tell me 3-4 slangs you think that anyone who's coming to Nigeria for the first time should learn. Something that could help them survive Nigeria. Something that can help them communicate in Nigeria. So, World, what's your slang?
Waiting day.
What's that mean?
Far? Oh, waiting day is like, what's up? Right? If you don't like that one, you can say how far? Like,
Like the show?
How far? Yeah, that's like what's up as well. Like, what's good? Same thing. Different way to say it. Another slang would be
how do I get the paper? Well, how do I say that? I want to get money. How do I get the paper?
Oh yeah,
what's the slang for
that? Waiting. You know what? Everything is waiting and all that, right? You know what? But you need food. Where the food be? Right? Where I feed shop. So where's the food? Where can I go? Yeah, because you need food to survive. And also you want to have a good time. Where the party be?
Where the party be?
Where can I go have a good time? It's part of it. It's part of surviving Nigeria. Yeah.
I appreciate you. I'm Nigerian as well. So yes, I really appreciate you for educating my Afrozone's listeners. Much love to you, World. We're going to keep supporting you. We're going to keep repping you. We can't wait to have you in Chicago, any city where Afrozones is syndicated on. You know you have a home with us. Much love, much respect. Thank you for coming and how far.
Thank you. What's up, guys? This is World. How far? Hope you're staying safe out there. Peace and love.